Let me say something that might upset a few people. If you are not currently having real conversations with business owners that could realistically buy your AI services, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. See, most AI service providers right now are stuck. They're watching YouTube videos, they're testing AI tools, they're tweaking their branding and their logos, the services they're going to offer, but they are not actually starting any conversations. And if you don't start conversations, you don't get clients. I mean, that is just the reality, right? No conversations, no clients. So in today's video, I'm going to show you my 72-hour prospecting plan. No cold DMs, no paid ads, no awkward sales calls, just positioning, authority, and automation. And if you want the full breakdown of today's training and the cheat sheet that I'm going to use for this, then all you have to do is like, subscribe, and drop 72 in the comments, and I will send you my free Smart AI Launch Lab training where I show you step-by-step how to have a faceless prospecting machine set up in 72 hours. On the thank you page of that training, which looks like this, if you scroll down here to step number 3, you'll see there's get all my free AI cheat sheets. So not only will you get the cheat sheet that I'm going to do today's training from, but you will also get a bunch of other ones right here. And again, all you have to do, like, subscribe, comment 72 below. Now, if you are a member of my private school group, you can find a link to that cheat sheet inside the group. There's a pinned post there called the Friday Live AI Coaching Call. This is a live coaching call that I do every Friday at this time, 3 p.m. I'm going to do some training, then I'm going to take your questions, all that stuff. But if you go into this post, there's a link at the top that has a link directly to the cheat sheet document so you can get all those as well. If you're not a member of my Smart AI Operator School group, it's free. If you go to smartdirectory.ai/group, you can request to join. You can get in. We've got over 2,300 members in there. It's an awesome community. A lot of smarter people than me in there sharing what they're doing and all that stuff. So go check that out as well. All right. Let's see. So we went over to the thank you page. Okay. Let's get into this. So here's what most people are doing right now, right? They introduce themselves like this. They say, hey, I run an AI agency, or I build AI chatbots, or I do AI automations. And the second that you say that, a business owner's guard goes up. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this. Maybe you can let me know in the comments, those of you that are on here live. But whenever, you tell somebody, hey, I have an AI agency or a marketing agency or whatever, does it seem like their kind of expression changes, right? That's because their inbox already looks like a war zone from people just like what you're claiming to be. Cold emails, cold DMs, cold calls. I mean, pitch. And look, here's the thing. No one wakes up in the morning hoping that a stranger is going to try to sell them something, right? Cold outreach, the way most people do it, is a horrible interruption. And interruption creates resistance right out of the gate. Now, look, AI fulfillment, easier than ever. Tools, better than ever. Automation, easier than ever. But actually getting someone to hear you out and actually be able to present how you can help them with AI and have the opportunity for them to say, hey, that sounds great, send me an invoice, harder than ever. Because you basically just look and sound like everyone else. So what do people do to fix this? Well, a lot of people say, look, I need better AI tools. I need better AI services. I need to look like a big professional AI agency. No, that is not the path. What you really need is better positioning. So I know we have quite a few people on here live, so I have a question for you on here right now. I want you to answer me in the comments. What is positioning? Is everybody actually clear on what positioning is, what it means? I see in the comments, somebody says, I sent 300 DMs and got 10 responses, but did sign up as 6K work. But yes, very hard. Yes. That's awesome, by the way. That's great that you got those kind of responses. A lot of people struggle with that. Yeah. Anybody want to give me a guess? What actually is positioning? What do you think positioning is? Let me know in the comments. I want to know. Jacqueline says, people underestimate how hard it is by a factor of at least 10. Yes, I would agree with that, Jacqueline. Let me see if I can make this comment box bigger so I can read it a little better. Anybody got a gander on positioning? There might be a little bit of a delay. I don't see any of them coming in right now. So somebody said, Dorn says, how you want your business, product, or brand to be perceived in the mind of your target customer compared to alternatives. That is a great answer. And I see Bill got, it's how people perceive you. Somebody said, I'm not sure what positioning is. So yeah, well, positioning is pretty much what Dorn said there. It's actually, it's not what you say about yourself. Okay. Positioning has nothing really to do with you. It's what the prospects or the market that you're dealing in think about you before you even open your mouth. So it's the place that you occupy in the prospect's mind. So it's really easy to see this with big brands because a lot of people that have positioning are the ones that got there first. So for instance, Coca-Cola was one of the first sodas, right? They pretty much own the soda brand. It's very hard for anybody to come in and compete with them head to head, right? So when you think of, like, if I say to you, you know, name a soda, a lot of people will say Coca-Cola, right? Like they just associate it with that category. Now, when you're a little smaller business like we are, and we're dealing with other businesses, right? Maybe there's no big clear leader in our field, but like what we struggle with is people don't know us. They have no idea of who we are or what we're doing. And so when we reach out to them from this angle of like, I'm a marketing agency or I'm an AI agency, right? They just lump us in with this perception that they have of those people. And that perception is not good because every day they open up their inbox and they get a gazillion emails from somebody saying that they can help them with their Google profile. They can help them get better SEO. They could 20x their business with AI. So you just get lumped in with all of that because they have no connection to you that makes you stand apart, right? So all of that stuff, when you lead as a agency, they automatically just assume you're trying to sell them something, right? Your chatbot, your automation, your marketing services. That's why their defenses go up. But if you could position yourself outside of that group or somehow different from those type of people, like if you could position yourself as the go-to AI consultant in your local area, right? You would have an entirely different interaction with people. And especially if you had that reputation and it was like, it was known, right? When one business owner talked to another, they said, oh, you need help with AI, you should talk to Tom, right? Like, he's really great at this. He helped my business do XYZ. See, that positions you. That's why warm leads are so much better. Warm referrals are so much better than cold. Because when somebody refers you, like when somebody tells their friend, you should go see Tom because he's an AI expert, that instantly positions me as an expert because they believe their friend. They trust their friend, and that trust comes over to me, right? So it's a little tiny example. Warm referrals are a little tiny example of how you can get instant positioning in a prospect's mind. When someone recommends you or refers someone to you, they are instilling your positioning to that person. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope I didn't get in the weeds there. So the way that I have done this over the years was to kind of position myself as a local business champion. And I did this by creating local business directories. So like here's one that I set up not too long ago here in the Vegas area. And I do all of my prospecting from this directory. So when I lead from the directory as being the owner, the creator of this local community resource who is listing their business on there for free, right? They don't perceive me as selling them something right off the bat. In fact, the perception they have of me is that I'm looking to promote them. Does everyone see the difference there? One, I'm reaching out, right? And they think, oh, this person's trying to sell me something. Two, I'm reaching out and I'm offering to promote them for free. Right? Now, I know as marketers, we know that's not happening, but we have to think about this from the prospect's point of view. That's really all that matters, right? What are they thinking? What are they thinking when we reach out to them, when we send that initial email? What do they think when they see that subject line? What do they think when they open that email, right? It only matters what they're thinking, not what we think of ourselves, because they have no idea about us, right? Again, we're pretty much a stranger when we first reach out to them. And you're the same person, right? You're using the same tools, but you get a completely different perception based on how you start the conversation and bring yourself into their world. And perception determines response. Okay, so that position shift of you promoting them is why this strategy works. Now, the reason that I picked this to talk about today was because I harp on this a lot, and I say it in a lot of trainings in a lot of different ways, this idea of positioning and how the directory sets you apart and makes you look different. But I still see, based on like the posts people make in the school group and the questions they ask, that they're not quite getting it, right? Like they're still hung up on the tech side of things, and they're still putting a little too much emphasis on the directory itself, okay? So what if instead of interrupting these local businesses, you're showing up as someone who promotes them? Very easy to do with the directory, right? So now instead of pitching AI, you're building your authority first. So you're not just another AI agency. You actually become a platform owner. You own a platform in your local area, and that is this community resource website. So that is the shift. So I'm going to break down exactly how to do this, how to get this implemented in the next 72 hours, day by day, step by step. And we're just going to go from there. So again, here's where I see a lot of people kind of miss the mark on this. And this is a very subtle difference when you start going down this road of positioning yourself apart from all the other Me Too AI agency folks. And that is, when people see this, they automatically think, oh, we're building a directory website so the directory website can make us money. Like they get really enamored with the directory site itself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Over the long term, we want to have an amazing site that people like to go to, that brings a lot of value, that has a lot of cool features, right? But in the beginning, we're really focused on one thing, and that is getting cash flow going as quickly as possible. And the fastest way to do that is to not focus on the directory itself, but focus on selling some higher ticket recurring services on the back end, using the directory to kind of break that ice, position yourself, and then start having those conversations. So you're not really building the directory website for the directory website to make money in the beginning. Now, as you progress along and you build this thing out and you start to get traction and traffic starts rolling in, absolutely. But what we're really doing right now is building what I call a positioning weapon that we can just use to start conversations. So here's how this goes on day one. So on day one, you pick a city. I recommend that you start in your own backyard. Don't, it's hard, I know, because as entrepreneurs, we want to go big when we do anything, but we've got to start very small here so that we can grow big later. So don't worry about, targeting a bunch of cities. Just pick one city, preferably in your backyard, right? And work with that, or somewhere that you understand. So then you install your directory platform. Now you can use whatever directory platform you want. I built Smart Directory AI because I wanted to have a directory site inside my GoHighLevel account. I use GoHighLevel to run my CRM and email marketing and build my pages and all that kind of stuff. So currently, GoHighLevel doesn't have the ability to build a directory inside it. So I just made an app that allows you to do that. And when you first install the app, this is what the directory site looks like. This is what I call the foundation Smart Directory AI site. And when you install the app and then you do a couple of things like connect a domain, this is the basic foundation install that you'll have up and running. And what this does is this makes getting your site to the point of where you can use it for outreach and starting conversations very quick. Because now, instead of having to build from scratch, we can just customize a few things. Like you'll notice the difference from this site to this site is actually not that much, right? I mean, I've changed out this image here, right? I've updated some of the text. I changed these colors in the menu. I added this little logo that I used AI to create. And of course, I have actual Las Vegas businesses on here, not these demo businesses that you see here. But going from this to this did not take me very long. I was able to do this in about an afternoon, right? And Smart Directory on the back end makes all this stuff very easy to do because it's got a built-in dashboard. You can just go here to branding. This is where you can adjust the colors of your top menu. You can set your logos. You can even change this. Like this is the default placeholder image right here. But if you want to use something different, you can actually even just set that right here and it'll change it for you. You can set in your meta titles. You connect your domain here. This is where you can change your hero image. And when you click on this, you upload an image. There's a cropping tool so you can make things look right. You can decide how many listings display on the front. So all very, very easy to operate. And that's the whole point of Smart Directory AI, to get from this to this, which is definitely looks like an active local directory community site that I could start using to reach out and build conversations with. Now, look, does anybody know on this site how many of these businesses are actually paying me to be here? Anybody know how many businesses are paying me to be here, or how many of these businesses I work with as a client? Anybody know? Want to take a guess? I know there's a little delay in the comments. Want to take a guess? See, this is, again, another part of the directory that comes back to positioning, right? Dorn, 0. Nice try, Dorn. Here's the point I'm trying to make. No one knows, right? And people that come and visit your directory, they don't know either. They assume that you have some type of a relationship with these businesses because otherwise they wouldn't be on your directory. Does everybody get that? Like, this is instant kind of authority, and like they see these featured listings, like they have no way to know whether these people actually paid you or didn't pay you. Now, I'm not suggesting that you be deceptive or anything like that. Like if somebody asks, hey, does La Casa pay you to be on your directory, and they don't, then you should say no, right? But here's the thing. People will never ask. They will just look at this and assume that you have some type of relationship, especially if they go here to your pricing page and they see this. Here are the pricing plans, and these people on the homepage are in this premium section. Like, what else would they, like, they'll just make that connection. They're not going to be like, oh, I don't know if all those people are paying them, right? Like, it won't even come up in their mind. They'll just know it to be true because they saw it as they were looking through the site. So that's another subtle little part of the positioning of this, right? Now, setting up a directory like this manually with other tools takes a while. I see a lot of people get stuck in what I call directory development chaos, which is they're just working to try to make it all perfect before they launch. And as a result, they never launch. They never actually get any business. Or once they spend all this time making it perfect and they're like, I'm ready to launch, they launch, and then they realize this horrifying situation they're in where, well, now how do they get traffic to their site, right? Like they spent all this time building it, but now they got to figure out how to get traffic to it. And the approach that I'm recommending in the beginning is we get a site that's good enough, right? That's good enough to start doing prospecting. And then we initiate all the traffic and activity by adding businesses and running them through an automation that sends them an email and lets them know they have a listing on our directory site. And we can start the conversations naturally that way, right? Because look, when we go back to the beginning of this video where I said, look, you have to have actual conversations with businesses if you want to close clients, right? That means activity has to be going on to create those conversations. So a lot of people force this. They go to networking events. They cold call. What are they doing? They're just trying to generate activity to kick up the sand at the bottom of the ocean. So hopefully, maybe they can bring in some clients and things like that. Well, the directory actually is like an automated way to do this because we add businesses to the site, the automations kick in, they send out the emails, and we go from there, right? So just getting the directory set up to this point, like one of the things that happens with Smart Directory when you sign up is we will actually build your first list of 100 businesses for you. So you don't even have to find the first 100 businesses to put on your site to make local businesses there. We'll build that list for you. So you can get to this point really quickly. Now, once you're at this point, you can start your prospecting. And as you're prospecting, then you start customizing your site, changing the menu, reorganizing things, adding cool features that you want, making it look better. But get the prospecting going first so that you can have that activity and the ability to bring some of those deals in. Does that make sense, everybody? Rick, it is VegasThriveDirectory.com. Yes, and look, I see somebody says, I put all my paying clients in featured listings. Yeah, look, I spent a lot of time just giving away all my premium upgrades. I never even charged anybody. I just would make a business a premium upgrade, and then I'd reach out to them and say, hey, I started this directory. You had a free listing on it. As a bonus, I've upgraded you to premium at no charge. Go check out your listing. I do need some information to add some stuff. Can we hop on a quick call so I can get that from you? And then I would get on the call. I'd get them the information. And then at the end of that call, I would just say, hey, while I was setting up your premium listing, I noticed that you have a bunch of reviews that are unresponded to. Would you like some help responding to those? Here's why that's important. And then I'd be there, right? So, okay. So, Smart Directory AI, you can get it, install the base directory in minutes. The thing that you really have to fight against, again, is this idea of it has to look perfect and perfection and all that. If you can keep that at bay, again, you can get a very good-looking site set up pretty quickly. So we customize it just enough, right? Again, just enough. Look, I put a little logo on here. I added a different header image, right? I tweaked the colors a little bit. I increased the size of the menu fonts, right? And again, very easy to do all that. Back in here, I was able to do that in all, like, here's the font size of the top bar, right? I can change that, do all that stuff right in here very, very easily to get me to this point, right? But that's it. Then I stopped. So, you don't need to spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks perfecting fonts, getting everything exactly right. There's like this saying in the software world where if you look back at what you launched and you're not slightly embarrassed, then you waited too long, right? Perfection kills momentum. So much better to just get it out there imperfect start taking action and doing the action steps, and then you can make it better as you go. So step number 4 in this process, you just add your businesses. Now, again, I mentioned that we build the list of 100 businesses for you for Smart Directory AI. And once you get that list, it comes as a CSV. It's really easy to upload it to your site because all you have to do is bulk import the CSV, and then you just give them the tag business, and that makes them listings on your site. So I'm going to show you just real quick how to do this. So I'm going to clear that off, discard changes. So if you want to bulk import a CSV, you just go to contacts here in the left menu. We click on import. This is going to show up. We're going to do contacts. We're going to go to the next screen. I have a CSV that I'm going to pull up of this. So here's my demo lead list. I'm just going to open this. So you just load your CSV here. And then in the next step, and this is really important, you map the columns in your CSV to the Smart Directory AI software. So the big one is this business name. So see how you can see all these business names here? In my CSV, that's called business name, but it doesn't matter what it's called here. You just have to make sure that you map it to the first name field. And then you can go through and make sure address is address, city, right? There's also other things you can map if you want. And then you just tell it not to import all the ones that you didn't map. And you just click next and you click import. And that imports the contacts into your GoHighLevel like this. And then you can just select them and you just click add tag. And all you do is add this tag you see right here, business. And that instantly makes them a listing on your directory site. So very, very easy to do that. Once they are on your directory site, then you can go into your Smart Directory AI dashboard here. You can see all the businesses listed under businesses, and you can assign upgrade packages to them. You can click this little pencil and edit any information about the business. Plus, you can either keep them a free listing or you can make them a premium listing just by toggling this little button on and off, right? When you toggle it on, it asks you to select a plan. This doesn't charge the person if you're doing this manually. It just connects them to a plan and then it makes them a premium listing, right? Just by toggling this on and off. You can add listing labels. This is how the site organizes your contacts and your listings. So when people go and click things on the menu, right, this is all organized by listing labels. These all have the listing label electrical, right? So all very easy to set up and kind of operate in the back, edit however you want. This is also where you see your claim requests. So when you drop people into the automated email outreach and they respond or claim their business, you're going to see them in here. If somebody just finds your site and they add their business themselves, you'll see that in here. So we have all this stuff as well. Oh, by the way, a quick little sneak peek for all of you Smart Directory AI users out there. Check out the submissions tab. We've reorganized this. Watch this. I don't have any blogs on this site, so let me show you on this one. We fixed the UX of this so that it looks much, much better and easier to navigate. So super excited about that. All right, so yeah, on my Vegas site, I don't have blogs, events, or jobs, all things that you can add. I wanted to just have my categories and my pricing page up here. So I even removed the home thing in the menu. Again, very easy to do all that stuff. You just go in here to the Smart Directory AI dashboard. You go into the branding section and the menu builder, and you can delete whatever you want. You can add whatever you want. If I wanted to add the home page back, it's under system pages. I just go here, click add home, and it would be right back, right? So again, we've been making this as easy as possible for you, again, to get to this point so you can get these sites set up and going. So this all takes a lot less time than you think, as long as you don't overthink it. And here's what's crazy. At this point, you already look different, right? You're no longer another, hey, I sell AI. You're a, hey, I run the Vegas Thrive directory right here in Las Vegas. That's a completely different energy, completely different positioning, right? Now, once you have your site kind of set up like this, day 2 is not about selling. It's about starting conversations. So I want to show you the initial email. I want to talk about some changes we've made to that email for all you existing Smart Directory AI users. And I really want you to wrap your head around that we really are trying to bring value first. If you approach Smart Directory AI and your outreach as verifying their business information, not asking them if they want to be on your directory. I never ask anyone if they want to be on my directory. When I reach out to them, I tell them they're already there. You already have a listing. It's already live. I just want to make sure your business information is correct. So we're always verifying and leading with value, right? And then if we see something that we can maybe help them fix, we just tell them about it. That's it. You can really keep it that simple. It's not really super complicated, but that's the magic of this, right? So we send a simple verification message, not a pitch, not a sales offer. So here is the warm-up email. And I just want to talk to my existing Smart Directory AI users right now that are out there. GoHighLevel recently made an internal update, a change to their UX. And I don't know if Door noticed this first or someone noticed this in the group and got a message, and then we noticed it. They didn't really say anything about it. They just kind of did it. So whenever you add these custom values here to your email, we used to have one in the warm-up email called website, and it would just put the website URL in the email, but the link wasn't clickable. Well, GoHighLevel has made some kind of an update where now there is no way to not make that link clickable. So in the initial warm-up email, as you know, we don't want any links in it because we want more deliverability. We're trying to get our opens up, all that stuff. Like the only way they can respond is to reply to the email. All of this is to warm up your domain and help with deliverability, just this first email warm-up. So this created a problem because now we had this link to their website that was in there. But this is actually, I think, made this email warm-up probably 300% more effective, this change that they made. So what I would recommend that you do if you're an existing Smart Directory AI user is go into the email template for the email warm-up and delete the website custom value here, okay? And then what you'll do is add a PS. So now this is not going to have a link to their website in it, right? So the email is just going to say, hi, I'm emailing because I'm building or built. You would edit this to say I built if your site is already live. I built a community resource website for the Vegas area. My goal is to make it the best place to get info about Las Vegas. Your business has a listing already on the site. I just want to make sure I have all the information correct. Is this your correct information? This is what I have. So it's going to have their business name. It's going to have their address. It's going to have their phone number. And then you say simply reply yes to this email if this is correct, or send me any changes needed. And then in the PS, you say, by the way, I don't currently have your website on file. If you'd like it included in your listing, and I might change this, if you'd like it included in your live listing, just send it over in your reply and I'll add it. This part right here, I think, is killer. If I had thought about this, but since we had the website link in there, this never crossed my mind. I think this is going to make the reply rates to this initial email go way up because everyone is going to want to have their website URL on their listing. They're going to want it to be there. And when you say you don't have it, just send it and I'll get it on there. That's going to be golden. So this is that initial outreach, right? And as you can see, we don't have to feel awkward about sending this. This email is very personalized with their business information. We're not trying to sell them anything. There's no pitchiness, no salesiness, just pure value. Remember, we're promoting them. We're giving them free exposure. We're giving them a promotion tool, and we just need to make sure the information we have is correct. You're not trying to sell something or anything like that. Is everybody with me on this? I mean, that's it, right? You're not asking for money. You're not selling AI. You're not booking a call. You're just inviting participation. The Rosa says, isn't the website a paid feature? No, it's not. On ours, all the free listings, you see the website. So look, if I go to one of my free listings right here, you can put the website in there as well. It's up to you whether you have it or not. All you have to do is go here. Let me show you. So like if I go to my plans, maybe I don't have it set right here. If I go here to my free plan and edit it, I can choose what actually gets shown. So you can see I have the website toggled on for my free plan. If you don't want it in your free plan, you would just toggle it off. But you have complete control over that. You have complete control over that. You can decide what's there and what's not there. Okay? Now, this difference is psychological, right? But it changes everything. This you being someone reaching out with this free listing and all this stuff, right? Because cold outreach says, I want something from you. I'm reaching out to you because I'm trying to sell you something, right? Like, you all know I have a YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. But you're watching this on YouTube, right? I get at least 5 emails a day from someone saying, hey, Tom, and it always starts the same way. Checked out your YouTube channel. Love the vibe you've got going there. Thought the content is awesome. But listen, I can help you get more blah, 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 blah. They're just trying to sell me something. Like the minute I see that email, delete. Because I know there's no connection there. They have given me zero reason to trust them, but they are asking something from me. They're asking for my time, for my attention, and I have no idea who they are, right? Now, maybe if they had sent me something and said, hey, Tom, I was checking out one of your videos. I downloaded it. I made some edits to it. Like, check this out. I think this is really in line with, like, then I go, oh my God, this person has really paid some attention, right? But I can always tell when it's just AI generated because the interest says, I checked out AI smart operators and the bar, Tom Gaddis. You can just tell it copied it from the YouTube thing, right? So that's what we're trying to avoid, right? Permission-based outreach, like I'm talking about here with the directory though, is I'm including you. There's a huge difference. So now when people reply to that initial outreach message and they say, yes, my business information is correct, or they say, yes, I want my website included. Here's the link. You have now done the hardest part. You have gotten someone to open a cold email and reply to you. That person is now like gold. You're not a stranger to them. They're now warm and you have a conversation going. So sometimes when people get replies, they're like, well, I don't know what to do. Should I reply back? Yes. Like, just act like a real person. Stop trying to be a super salesman person that is acting like they've got this big AI agency when you don't. If you've never had a single client, just be real and authentic. Just reach back out to the person and say, awesome, I really appreciate you letting me know that information is correct. I'm going to get this website added. I'm super excited about this community resource website. Like, this is a passion project of mine. I love helping local businesses. It's actually what I do on the side. I help businesses with AI. If you ever need any help with that, let me know. Or you could say, look, I'll get this added. Here's the link to your live listing. Check it out. And when they check it out, you send another email and say, by the way, when I was setting this up, I noticed that you have a bunch of reviews that aren't replied to, or whatever it is, the service that you're going to help them with. The conversations happen naturally when you lead with value. This is where a lot of people get impatient because they just try to sell too soon. But instead, you don't want to think of this as like a ladder, free listing, claim listing, right? Tell them about your premium upgrades, strategy conversation, AI service offer. 4 touch points before you're really like trying to sell them anything significant. Because look, the days are gone when you can when somebody is going to hand $2,000 to $10,000 over to you if they don't know you. I want to bring this home. If a complete stranger walked up to you and said, hey, I can do XYZ for you, give me $3,000, Would you just hand them over the money? Even $1,000, $5,000? Like, no, you would need to know something about that person. You would want to have some trust in what they're doing. The directory allows you to build that up before you have that conversation. So because you've led with value, you gave them a free listing, you added their website because you didn't have it. Maybe you helped them claim it, right? You talk to them about a low-cost offer. Like, look, I've got this premium upgrade package where you get these extra things on the directory, plus I do all these other things for you on the side. Normally, it's like $1,000 I would charge for that, but you get it for $299 or whatever that price is. Like, that's a little micro commitment, right? Now they're like, oh, I'll take that. And when you deliver those things, you've built trust and relationship. Now, when you come back to them and say, hey, while I was setting all this up, I noticed that you don't have blah, blah, blah. I can fix that. It's probably going to be about $2,000. That, like, there's not the resistance that's there normally, right? Because you've built a relationship, they know you. So when someone claims their listing, right, or they're on the directory and you've had those things, you've got their attention, their interest, their email, their engagement. So from there, you can offer them low-cost things like premium featured listing stuff, AI chat widgets, there's after hours AI voice, Google review automation, website, really any service that you want to sell on the back end, you can do. And now you're not pitching cold, you're actually solving problems they have. Because, like, here's the thing, if someone takes time to respond to you and even to claim their listing, they care about their business's online visibility. And businesses that care about visibility, like, they usually want more leads, right? And businesses that care about leads, they will pay for automations and things that will help them get more of those. That is the revenue ladder. And that is exactly why Smart Directory AI works so well for this, because I built it with all of that stuff in mind, and it automates a lot of that entire flow. I mean, manual versions can work, but, you know, the automation really scales. So I want to zoom out for a minute, and then I'm going to take your questions. I see them in the chat. We're going to share some wins, all that stuff as well. But I just want to zoom out for a minute and talk about overall why does this work, right? Well, there's 4 reasons. 1, you lead with visibility, not tech. 2, you create micro commitments along the way. 3, you shift from seller to platform owner. There's a difference there. And then you remove resistance. So you stop saying, I sell AI. You start saying, I run a local business platform. That changes the conversation, right? You're no longer competing with every other AI agency or AI tool bro on the planet. You're competing with nobody, right? Because most people aren't doing this. They're not willing to do this. They're still looking for the quick fix easy button, right? So warm outbound is the future if you really want to have success. Cold interruption is fading, and it's fading even faster because of AI. AI is making it easier than ever to create cold outreach campaigns and messages and flood people with them, but it's making it harder and harder to actually get a response. Now, this only works if you actually move. You have to install the directory, add the businesses, send the emails, right? But if you do that, you could be starting conversations this week or next week at the latest. But if you wait, nothing happens, right? So my plan of action has always been take action, get data, adjust. I go by the fire, ready, aim philosophy, right? I don't want things to be perfect. I just want to get moving, taking the action. I can figure it all out as I go and I adjust. That is how this compounds, all right? Okay, let's jump into some Q&A, and then I have a couple of other things I can show you guys as well. And then we'll do some wins in the community, and then we'll wrap up today's call. So if you have any questions about anything that I covered or anything at all about AI or local marketing, just ask and I will send. So somebody says, how many days do you wait after the first email for the business to call? So Rosary, is it Rosary? I hope I said that right. Maybe then a day. I mean, 2 at most. Like, I usually give them a day to respond and then would set up just a little courtesy call. Hey, I'm just giving you a call because I sent out a thing and your information's live and I just want to verify your information. Again, two important things about those follow-up. If you're doing calls to follow up, the two most critical things of that are, one, do not ever ask them if they want to be on your directory. Don't get on that call and be like, hey, I'm Tom with Vegas Drive, and I was wondering, would you like a free listing on my directory? Don't do that. Get on there and be like, hey, I'm Tom with Vegas Drive. You have a free listing on my directory. I just need to verify your information. That's number one. Always tell, never ask. Number two is remember that you're verifying their information. That's why you're calling. Yes, you're calling to maybe to try to sell them something, but like the initial outreach is just to verify their information. So, just forget about the selling part. So just focus on like, hey, I'm just calling to verify your information. And then at the end of that, you say, by the way, when I was setting up your listing, I noticed this. Have you ever thought about getting that fixed? That makes sense to everybody? I hope so. Somebody said, can we change the yes, Jacqueline, you can change the basic image of the black outline building. So this is a new feature that we just rolled out recently. So I'm going to share my screen here. If you go into I'll show you in this one. If you go into your Smart Directory AI dashboard, go to branding, and then if you just scroll down, you'll see listing placeholders. Whatever image you put here will be your default profile image. Whatever image you put here will be your default cover image. So we have about 6 new features that we're rolling out. 3 of them are already live in your Smart Directory AI accounts, but the other 3 should be done here pretty quick, and then I'll do another update video. If you just want a sneak peek at what some of those things are, so one is the redesign of the UX of the submissions tab. That's one thing we did. Another thing we've done is some people wanted to, whenever somebody upgrades up to a premium listing, the system naturally redirects to your, I think your pricing page. They wanted to be able to redirect to a custom URL. So we've added that in. So when you go into your plans, now you have to have Stripe connected for this to work, because if you have a custom payment link, like if you have an external checkout, we have no way to control where they get redirected. You have to set that up there. But if you've connected Stripe to your Smart Directory AI account, then you'll see that you now have this custom redirect option. And when you turn that on, you can just put whatever URL you want them to be taken to right here. And when they upgrade to a premium, it will take them to whatever URL you put right in here. So very excited about that. There's also, I'm trying to think, what are the other ones? There's some other things that are coming in the back end just with some functionality, but I won't go into all that just yet. Okay, let me see. What other questions do we have here? During the follow-up call, what do you do to get them to claim their listing? Charles, great question. Charles says, during the follow-up call, what do you do to get them to claim their listing? I offer to help them, Charles. I offer to help them. So I will call them up and say, hey, my name's Tom. I'm the owner of Vegas Thrive. I'm calling you up because you have a free listing on our site, and I just wanted to give you a quick courtesy call. I just want to make sure all the information that's live online is actually correct. Do you have a couple minutes for me to verify that information? Blah, blah, blah. They verify the information. Then I'll say, awesome. By the way, it's probably best to lock that information in so you can change it if you want, and nobody else can come in and change it. We do that by claiming the listing. I can help you do that right now if you have time. If you don't, I can just send you a link to your listing after we hang up, and you can just click that link and claim your listing right there. But if you could do me a favor, it doesn't cost anything, it's free, but it just makes everything a little more secure for you, and no one can go in and kind of jack with your information. I recommend you do that. Do you have time to do it now? So again, look at this. Remember, what am I focused on right now? Am I focused on selling them something? No, I'm focused on helping them. I want them to be on my directory. I want them to claim their listing. I want to help them get that exposure, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm not even thinking about selling them anything at this point. Now, I know that I'm going to, right? Because I could say, well, look, after we hang up, I'll send it, claim the listing. And when they claim the listing, I might reach back out to them and say, hey, I saw you claimed your listing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. By the way, when I was setting up your listing, I noticed whatever it is I noticed that's wrong. I shot a quick video showing you a problem I found and how to fix it. Take a quick look. And then they'll go and I have maybe a little video that shows them a problem that I can fix. Is everybody with me there? You guys see how all of that works together, right? Like where I see so many people struggle is they're just too, like, I know, like it's a lot, right? You really want to make a sale, you really want to make money, but you just got to start acting authentic and like a real person, right? And I think that's one of the big advantages of Smart Directory AI over other things that are out there is that the more you just sound like a regular person, the more effective it is. So don't worry if you're not slick and smooth and all that stuff. Like it actually works a lot better if you're not, because you just seem authentic, right? And two, look, it's a lot easier to do this stuff when you have a team, right? When you have a team behind you of 5, 6 people helping you with all this stuff or whatever, like it's a lot easier to do the prospecting and get amazing results. But when it's just you trying to do this yourself, you can either A, hire a team and spend all that money and learn the hard way, like all the ups and downs of that, or you could do something like Smart Directory AI, where this system can act as your prospecting team, as your sales department, right? Your only job would be to build a list of businesses, add them in at the beginning of the week, let the automations run so you can see how to reach out to people, and then you reach out to them. So it's almost like an appointment setter, right? Like, but you don't need the appointment setter anymore. Let me see. Somebody said, how can I... hold on. I'm going to scroll down here. Somebody says, but what do you put in there? I don't know what you mean by, but what do you put in there? I liked your lead in. Have you ever thought about? Let's see. How do you position this with networking at events? The usual starter question is, what do you do? How do you handle this? Oh, so I just tell them, hey, so I used to be an active member of BNI, Business Networking International. I went to the meetings every week. I hung out there. This was a killer way to get people on my side because I would just tell them, oh, I have a marketing agency. But one of the things I do as an initiative of my marketing agency is I run this community resource website to help businesses get more exposure in the area. Give me your info. I'll give you a free listing. And man, it worked like gangbusters. Somebody said, do we focus on one niche at a time? That's a great question. So I think that depends on your skill level, right? Again, there is a big difference between experience and not experience. And what do I mean by that? If you've never had a client, you should focus on one service. Pick one service. Now, I am going to maybe like burst your bubble here, but I'm going to tell you this because whenever I tell people that, pick one service to offer, the very first thing they say is, well, what's the best service to offer? There is no best service to offer. There is no magic service that will guarantee you have success. Success is only going to come from you having conversations with people that can actually turn into clients that need whatever that thing is you're selling. So pick something, one service that you can sell. And if you want to start with one niche, reaching out, because that'll make it a little easier, do that. But when you're new, I recommend trying a bunch of different types of businesses because you never know who you're going to resonate with, who you like working with more. I think in the beginning, you want to have some variety. And then as you get more experience, you can niche down and do those kinds of things. So, but that's my recommendation. When meeting people in person... So this is somebody said, when meeting people in person and following up them regarding on their listing, what would be a good strategy as far as how soon to start selling them something? So look, I would just you want to, if you are bringing a problem to them that you noticed, that is different than, quote, selling them, even though that's what you're doing. So let me clarify that. Think about this process. If you were in my local area and you got an email and you're like, let's say that you're a plumber and you're like, oh, you get this email, says your plumbing business has been added to this directory, verify your information. You go there, you verify your information, maybe you even decide to claim the listing. And then the next day I call you up and I say, hey, I'm Tom, I'm the owner. I'm just giving you a courtesy call to make sure all your information was correct. Is this all correct? Did you have any issues claiming your listing? Would you like help with that? And if they're like, well, what is this all about? I'll just say, well, this is actually a kind of like a passion project of mine. I set up this community resource website just to help local Vegas businesses get more exposure. I actually run a marketing company. That's what I do for real, but this is just something I do to kind of help out the community. So is all this correct? We got it all good. Awesome. I'm going to send you a link to your live listing. Check it out. And then the next day when I email them and I say, here's the link to your live listing. And then in that email, I say, by the way, I mentioned I own a marketing company. I took a look at your website and I noticed a pretty big problem like that you might want to get fixed. I'm not saying you need to have me do it, but you should definitely get somebody to do it. Like, do you see how that conversation goes? Does it feel like I'm selling anybody anything or trying to be hard and pushy? So don't think about the timing. Think about how can I help them, right? If you're like, hey, I was setting up your listing and I noticed you have this big hole in your business bucket that's costing you thousands of dollars. Would you wait 3 days to tell the person? No. If they were your friend or your brother or somebody that you knew, like you would want to tell them right away, right? You're like, hey, I looked and you've got this big thing that's costing you a bunch of money. Like you need to get this fixed. So think of it that way. Always think in terms of the value, right? Always think in terms of the value. So look, I'm just like setting all this up and then I'm looking for holes in their marketing. And if I think I can help them fix it, then I want to reach out to them and tell them about that. But I'm not trying to be like sell. I hope you guys see the difference there. Does everybody see the difference there? And again, the more authentic and awkward you sound doing this, the better. If you try to do this all slick and polished, it usually doesn't work as well. Let me go through here and go to a couple of these other questions. How can I take out the monthly option in the pricing page? Great question. Very easy to do. First of all, just so you guys know, we have an amazing, let me share my screen so you can see this. We have an amazing knowledge base and training area at Smart Directory AI/help. So when you go here, you can contact support up here, right? There's a change log with all that stuff, a roadmap of what's coming. Plus there's like the quick start, get started. This is what gets you set up as quickly as possible. But you can also go down here and see the different titles. But another great thing is you can just type things in. So let's say pricing plans. If I just type in pricing plans, it will pull up here. So, okay, here's payment integration. Which one is that? So this is connect Stripe. Oh, then it brings all these things up over here, right? So payment integration. Let me go to the quick install. I think that's the one I want, but I want to make sure. Because we have this get paid for premium listings. There we go. Yeah, payment integration. So this video shows you how to edit the plans and do all that stuff. And there's step-by-step screenshots down here below. But I'm going to show you right now. But just so you know, if you ever have a question about something, if you're like, how do I customize my menu? Just go here, type it in the search box. We have incredible documentation that will walk you through this. But here's how you do it. So all you do is when you go into your plans, you do not have a monthly option selected. So that's because that's the free one. So see in my plan how I have the monthly price set to 0? You have to have the monthly price set to 0. And as long as you have that, you see both these plans, no monthly price. As long as you have that, then when you go to the pricing page, it just shows the annual option. You can also just have the monthly option if you don't want an annual. Like you could set 0 for annual and then it would just show the monthly. But that's how we do that. Okay, let me go through some of these questions. And then, awesome. And then I'm going to do some quick wins in the community, and then we'll wrap this up here soon. So somebody says, I've been struggling for weeks to set up a phone number through this system because of regulator requirements. Can't call without a phone number. Can you guys help with this? I don't know what are the regulation problems you're running into? Is it because of the area you're at? I mean, when I started doing this, I just used my cell phone to call people. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't too worried about it. I needed to make money, so I just used my cell phone. But I don't know, like, what is it? Like, what is the holdup in the regulatory requirements? Because, like, if they're regulator requirements, then you have to follow those. Like, I don't have any way around them. You know what I mean? Somebody said when we treat people like they're humans, things do better. Yeah. I don't know why I struggled with that for so long. Like, you get so wrapped up in the entrepreneur thing and like, you just think like you see people and you're like, oh, I want to be like them, but man, like I've never had success trying to copy someone else. It wasn't until I just kind of thought, well, like they're a real person. I'm a real person. Like I don't need to sound hip, slick, and cool. I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to find out what their problems are, right? I just need to find out like what are they struggling with in their business right now? Like what's really keeping them up at night? And then if I can offer them a way to fix that, like I don't need to do any of that other stuff, right? Let me scroll down here. Pin equal, I don't know what that means. Let's see. Jackie said, when you send someone a link to claim their listing, do you send the HTTPS link? Yes. Yep. You just send them the link to their listing, and then there's a button on their listing that says claim this listing. So somebody said, is your Smart Directory AI account? So you can have, it works with any level of high level account. So if you're on the basic $97 a plan, you can use Smart Directory AI. Okay. When is the live coaching for pricing and packaging? Yes. So that is actually happening this week on March 11th. So everyone that's in for that will get an email with a link to the Zoom. But it's happening this Wednesday, March 11th, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will record it, so if you can't make it, don't worry. We'll record it, and we'll get it to you in your members area as well. Also, too, before I do the wins here, I want to show you guys something else that I did for you. So I did a YouTube video about Dorn. He was doing his the email challenge, and he mentioned that he sold these audits, right? That he got $500 for these audits. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I know Dorn had a lot of people reach out to him like, well, what do you say? Here's the thing. This is another great example of what we've been talking about today is like Dorn didn't use a canned script. He took time to look at each business and see what their problems were. And then he reached out to them on their specific problems and offered a way to help them, right? But Dorn also did a training on this that was in our group, but it got removed. So anyway, I got it put back. So if you go to the classroom section, you're going to see there's some new trainings in here if you haven't been in here in a while. But there's the AI Directory Edge, this market domination section. If you go in here, we've added Dorn's free and paid audit selling strategy right here. And you can watch the whole training he did on this. He even gave a checklist. Really, really awesome stuff. And then also in here is high level in a hurry. So this shows you how to do things in high level in 3 minutes or less. So you can log in here, and if you're having issues with how to set up lead connector, migrate, it's all how to create a new contact. Each of these videos is less than 3 minutes and shows you how to do a specific thing in high level. Now, coming soon, we're going to be opening up the already done method, which is a prospecting method that I've been teaching for a long time where we sell pre-built websites. And what's going to happen is once you hit a certain level in the school community, the already done method will automatically unlock for you. And there's more things that are going to be coming to this area as well, all free for members of the Smart AI Operators group. Okay, all right, I'm going to run through some Shark shout-outs right now. And then if you have any last-minute questions, pop them in. Let me make sure that I don't have anybody saying anything. Okay, all right. Oh, let me move this out of the way. God, so many windows. So many windows. Where is it at? Let me find it. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on regular social media, you should. I've been making quite a few posts to my social media page. I like the one today. You can see it in the school group as well. I did a version in there. Okay. All right. I'm back over here. This needs to go over here. This needs to go over here. Okay. We're going to do some shout outs for the wins that were posted in the group, and then I'll come back to your question. So, wrong one. There we go. First up, congratulations to Mark. Mark got his first new business request. So he said he finished getting his directory set up and running today. He started posting to Facebook groups, and within a few hours, he got his first ever new business request. So off to have a convo with them now. Awesome work. Awesome work, Mark. Next up, Chris. This is a kind of a continuation that Chris has been sharing over I think since last year. This was a business that he brought into his directory early on just as a free listing that over the past year has scaled into one of the biggest clients that he currently has in his agency. And he's just kind of updating on that. So this was a really great win, Chris. Awesome to see all the stuff that you're doing there. So congrats. Roger, he went live on his directory site, which was awesome to see as well. And Dorn shared his recurring win for his Amish bakery. They just renewed for another year of SMS texting service, $1,800 for the year. They paid usage, and they've referred 3 other Amish businesses to him. So that is an interesting niche as well. Roger also shared that he stumbled on a huge win. He was testing the email sequence, and he got a response from a plumber that wants the big boy community exclusive. I love this. I love ones like this. So Roger's just in there, and he's like, I'm just going to test out the workflow. So he just drops a random plumber in his free outreach workflow, and the guy emails him back and is like, hey, I want this premium package that you have. And he's referring Roger to an association of plumbers he belongs to. So he said he had a talk with them. He was able to get them set up on a trial of an AI receptionist to 5 of their favorite members. So anyway, there's 42 association groups nationally. Anyway, huge win. Like, this is what taking action does, right? People always say, Tom, gosh, I wish I could just have, a lot of the things that have gone right in my life have just been that I just happen to be taking action and things just fall into place, right? So just start taking the actions, and you too, more than likely, will luck into some things like this. Maybe not this big, but some stuff like this. So awesome work, Roger. I also wanted to share a couple of other things I saw in the school community as well. And I think they're under celebrations. Oh, here's Dorn with another small recurring win. But Chris shared this in the group, and I don't know if all of you saw this, but I want you to pay attention to this as well, because Chris did this. He just started posting his directory in some local Facebook groups. No pitching, no selling. All he did was he just made a post, said, hey, I started this directory, and he said, go check out the site. If your business isn't on there, you can add it. Nothing complicated, right? Nothing fancy. So he posted in 22 local groups. He got 6 new businesses added to the directory to follow up with. And then his site went from having 3,800 views to roughly over 10,000. So awesome work there, Chris, as well. Okay. Well, great work out there, everybody. If you have wins, please share those in the group as well. I did see there was one, and I meant to send this to the team, and I forgot. There was a win shared in the Facebook group as well from Jacqueline, and let me pull that up real quick because I don't want to leave Jacqueline out. I want to give her a big shout out. Her and Randy just celebrated their 1 year of being married. For those of you that don't know, Randy and Jocelyn actually met in our Facebook community, and they ended up getting married. They ended up getting married here in Las Vegas. And Randy's son was originally supposed to be the best man, and he got sick and he couldn't make it. And so they asked me to be the best man at their wedding. And so 2 people met in my Facebook group, hooked up, got married. I was the best man at the wedding. It is quite a story. But the win that she shared in here is Randy closed a $6,500 quarterly SEO and citation and a $4,150 quarter and $3,000 quarter in 24 hours using Smart Directory AI as the outreach method. And they shared a little thing from Gary Vee in there. So if you're in the Facebook group, check that out as well. All right, let me double check some questions here, and then we are going to wrap up this call today. I know I went a little over. Mark, I don't know yet. We haven't set it up yet. So I'm kind of giving you a preview there. We haven't really set that up yet, but it'll be coming soon. You'll see it. So somebody said, what's the best call to get into to get... So we actually have a specific tech call every Tuesday. So here, just so you guys know, take a look at this. In the school group, if you go up here and click on the calendar at the very top, this calendar button, you will see all the calls that are available to you. So we've got an office hours call that happens every Monday. There's a onboarding call that happens on Mondays for Smart Directory AI. Tuesdays is our tech call. So basically the way this call works is Jason, one of our tech people, he just shows up there and people come on and you ask him questions and he just goes through and answers. It's not a training. Like if you don't have a question to ask, I would not go here. You're just going to be sitting there listening to people ask questions and seeing him respond. Like it's not an actual training. It's just made for you to be able to get live support. So if you're struggling with something on the tech and you want somebody to help you with it live on like a Zoom, go here and he can take care of that for you. And then of course we have the Friday call as well. Also too, by the way, next Friday, we will not be having this coaching call. Next Friday, the 13th, is my 20-year wedding anniversary. And so I'm going to be spending the day with my beautiful wife. Can't believe we have been married 20 years. It is crazy. So anyway, we won't be having this call next Friday, but I will be back here the week after. All right. So I think you're welcome, DG. Awesome. Well, look, I really appreciate you all hanging out here with me today. So here's what I want you to do now. If you want the full 72-hour prospecting cheat sheet, if you want the verification email template, the monetization ladder breakdown, the automation workflow, and access to my Smart AI launch training where I go into a lot of detail on how to get this all set up in 72 hours, just drop 72 in the comments below and I will send you the link. If you're in the school group, you can find it on the pinned post for the Friday coaching call. I'll just make sure you get access to the full breakdown. Now, if you want the tool that automates the entire process, that is exactly why I built Smart Directory AI. It turns this into a system instead of a scramble. So remember, cold outreach is an interruption. This is invitation. Stop pitching tools, start owning the room and the positioning. And I will see you all here in our next Friday live coaching call training. Also, keep an eye on the YouTube channel. I publish multiple videos every week on all different topics. And if you have any questions, hit me up in the school group or reach out to our support. All right, everybody, stay safe, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend.